Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where we get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news of an unusual market intervention by the New York Fed to stem a sharp yield rise. But first up today, we had another dairy auction, and this one delivered a positive result. In US dollars, overall prices rose 2.0%, and in New Zealand dollars, they're up 1.6% from the prior auction. The gains were broad-based across most products, with butter and skim milk powder rises the most. Volumes sold were a respectable 37,000 tonnes, and while the gains in New Zealand dollars weren't special, given our lower currency, it did represent the fifth auction in a row of such improvements, and that has accumulated to 6.5% since July and takes prices back to the levels we last saw in May. In the US, the Federal Reserve had to step in to markets yesterday to keep market pressure from pushing their benchmark interest rate from rising above its target 2.25%, the first time they've had to carry out this type of market operation since the global financial crisis. And it wasn't minor. They had to buy $53 billion worth of securities to damp down the rising yield. Some see a structural fall at work here. American industrial output increased solidly in August from July, but that only puts it 0.4% higher in a year. It was boosted by a rising oil patch output, but factory output declined 0.4% year on year. The outlook for factories remains weak amid rising headwinds from trade tensions and slowing global economies. Canadian manufacturing sales fell even more in July data they've just released. In China, they're preparing to release reserves of pork ahead of a national holiday to ease some of the food price pressure there. China's home price growth eased for a third consecutive month in August, with new home prices growing at their slowest pace in nearly a year. And the Chinese central bank surprised markets yesterday by keeping its benchmark interest rate unchanged at 3.3% and effectively withdrawing liquidity. Shanghai equity markets fell 1.7% on the news. In Germany, investor sentiment recovered all of its August decline in September in an unexpected improvement, but overall sentiment is still negative. The US Treasury 10-year yield is lower, down 3 basis points today, now at 1.81%. Gold is marginally higher again today, up $3 to $1,502 an ounce. And US oil prices have fallen back $4, giving up half of yesterday's gain to now just over $59 a barrel. The Brent benchmark is now just over $64 a barrel. Saudi Arabia says oil production will be now fully restored by the end of September. The Kiwi dollar is little changed, up marginally to 63.5 US cents. On the cross rates, we're marginally firmer too at 92.6 Australian cents, and against the euro, we're down to 57.4 euro cents. That puts the TWI at just on 68.7. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.